You've probably heard about the hero instinct by now. It's an exhilarating new concept in relationship psychology that some say holds the key to making a man fall in love with you and committing to a relationship over the long haul. But what is the hero instinct? Is it legit? And how can it help you with your relationship? Find out in this video. What is the hero instinct? You probably have a picture in your mind about what a hero is. In Hollywood, heroes are everywhere. Think Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Christian Bale as Batman, etc. Does the average man want to sling on a cape and save entire cities from supervillains like we see in these films? Is turning your man into Thor the key to triggering his affection for you? Not exactly. The hero instinct is less about Hollywood and more about the innate biological urge men have to feel needed and wanted. According to the hero instinct, men are driven by three basic things in life. 1. To live a meaningful life and feel appreciated for his efforts. 2. To be a provider for those he cares about and feels responsible for. 3. To be respected by those around him. If you've spent much time with a man, you'll instantly realize that this all makes a lot of sense. Men come in all shapes and sizes, but these three psychological urges are common to us all. The simple truth is that your man doesn't necessarily want to be an action hero. But he does have a biological urge to be a hero to the woman in his life. Why he wants to be your hero? When a man falls in love, he becomes naturally protective of his significant other. This is basic male psychology. When you've had a disagreement with a friend or family member, he'll naturally take your side. When you cross the road, he'll put his body on the side of the traffic. He can't help it. Even if he is afraid to admit that he loves you for whatever reason, he won't be able to control his actions of wanting to protect you. A study published in the Physiology and Behavior journal shows that males' testosterone makes them feel protective over their partner's safety and well-being. He might not have told you in words that he loves you. But you will see it in everything that he does. You will see it in the way he looks at you. You will see it in the way he behaves around you. He shows it in the simplest gestures that touch you in the deepest ways. If you are enjoying the video so far, be sure to leave a like. It helps out a lot. Where did the hero instinct term originate from? James Bauer introduced the term, the hero instinct, in his best-selling book, His Secret Obsession. James is a relationship psychologist who has worked with thousands of men and women to help strengthen their relationships. By carefully studying the dynamics of his clients' relationships and researching male psychology, James discovered what he believes is the key to a happy relationship, triggering the hero instinct in men. As a trained psychologist and best-selling author, James Bauer is the real deal. And the popularity of hero instinct has catapulted James Bauer into being one of today's leading relationship experts. A link to James Bauer's video on the hero's instinct will be linked in the description. Be sure to check it out. What is the significance of the hero instinct for you? Instead of making your man feel insignificant, you must make him feel wanted and needed. This doesn't mean you should come across as weak. Although you may not feel you need a hero, you do want a man who feels like one. Your man probably knows you can do most things on your own. And he probably respects your independence. But there isn't any harm in letting him take charge once in a while to fulfill his biological urge to step up to the plate for you. He wants to have your back. He wants to be your rock. You just need to let him be this once in a while. The alternative is that a man who is in a relationship where his hero instinct isn't triggered is much less likely to stay in that relationship. If you're with the man you want to be with, or at least plan to be one day, is your pride in your unwavering self-sufficiency worth losing this relationship over? But hasn't society, over centuries of evolution, moved on from primal instincts? In short, no. The central assertion of the hero instinct is that men have a primal instinct to be a hero. They are hardwired to provide for and protect women, without necessarily being aware of this. In today's times it is considered politically correct to argue that gender stereotypes are outdated and that the only differences between men and women are socially constructed. However, just because something is politically correct doesn't make it actually correct. In this case, the view that there are no gender differences is completely wrong. There are still big differences between men and women because of our biology. Men are still driven by the same instincts they've always had, even if they're not always consciously aware of them. For thousands of years they've wanted women to desire them and to need them. They want to make sure women are safe. They want to satisfy them. For a man, stepping up to the plate for a woman is crucial. Yes, times have changed and women today are as capable of looking after themselves as any man. But does this mean that you should just treat your man as an accessory? As someone who is nice to have around but not essential in your everyday life? No, because your man still wants to provide for you and protect you, as much as any man in the past always has. How to trigger a man's hero instinct. While James Bauer's free video is the best place to start, here are another 5 simple ways that you can trigger the hero instinct in your man starting today. 1. Ask for his help. If you need a light bulb changed, or your computer is malfunctioning, or if you have a problem in life and you need some advice, then seek him out. A man wants to feel useful. And he wants to be the first person you turn to when you genuinely need help. 2. Show your appreciation. When he does something genuine for you, tell him how much it meant to you. This is just basic human psychology. Men want to feel appreciated as much as women do. 3. Boost his confidence. Remember how I mentioned earlier that one aspect of a man's hero instinct is to be respected by his peers? Well, this means not belittling him or putting him down around others. This one's a little more ego-driven, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with protecting a man's ego. 4. Make sure he knows he makes you happy. When it comes to providing for a woman, a man wants to do more than just make sure there is food on the table and a decent roof over her head. He wants to make her happy. When he makes you happy, let him know. It makes a difference. 5. Encourage him to be the best version of himself. This probably won't come as a shock, but a man's life doesn't entirely revolve around women. Men need freedom to pursue other things, be it exercise, their friendships, or even Call of Duty. Encourage him. Make him feel he's living his best life, and being with you lets him do this. In a long-term relationship, a man cares less about how beautiful you look or what a firecracker you are in bed, and much more about how you make him feel about himself when he is around you. This doesn't mean you have to act timid and submissive around him. You certainly don't need to pretend to be someone you're not. The goal here is simply to allow your man to step up to the plate. That's all men really want. To be there for a woman when she needs him to be, which ultimately fulfills his desire for meaning, respect, and being a provider. Your man will feel better about himself and he will see you in a whole new light, which will only lead to a better relationship between the two of you. Conclusion: why do men crave feeling needed and wanted by the women they are attracted to? Blame natural instinct and deep-rooted biology. Instead of fighting against it, you need to empower your man by triggering his hero instinct. Look at it this way. Women who understand the hero instinct that all men possess are the ones who will likely go on to have loving, long-term relationships. And the ones who fail to acknowledge this innate drive in men, and don't allow him to step up and provide for them, are the ones who will continue to have short-term, unsatisfying relationships that eventually fizzle out. I know which type of women most would prefer to be. Want to learn more about the hero instinct? My explanation of the hero instinct, including my tips for triggering it in your man, is just scratching the surface of what this fascinating concept is all about. To go further into the concept of the hero instinct and how to trigger a man's deepest desires, click on the link in the description. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.